ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to teach you how to do your foundation. Foundation guide for dummies. Save you a lot of money and do it at home easily. Okay, so depending on how bad your foundation is, it should look like this. This is like an average. This is pretty bad, but not as bad as some I've done. Should look like that at first. You can see all the cracks and stuff. You're going to start off by getting a hammer and a chisel, a brick hammer, even a screwdriver, and you're going to chip off all the paint and knock off all the joints around the foundation stones, so at the end it will look like this. And most importantly, you got to make sure to get all the dust out of all the joints. That's why it's good to have like a long screwdriver, because if it's really bad, it just comes out really easily. You're going to get around the shape of the foundation stones. Do not take those out, but there will be loose pieces of cement and stuff. Just make sure you get everything like that out. Just this little section, it's so bad that that's how much dust came out. There's still more to get out. And in this foundation, these people try to save money, whoever did it. So they're using a bunch of fieldstone. Usually you'd have something more like one of those big pieces of granite, just a few of them set up. So this is not your average foundation. It's a little bit more tricky, but everybody's one is going to be different. But yeah, so this is one section done. Should chip out all the foundation, all the joints around. Then you work on getting all the dust out of the cracks and everything. And then your next step is you mix some cement. You go to your local masonry yard, make sure you get a bag of Portland cement, 1 bag of Type S cement. And you put 2 buckets of sand in a work bucket to 1 bucket of a half Portland cement, half Type S. And you mix those 3 buckets together, mix with water. Some people have a cement mixer to make it easy. And you should, a good material is have it like, this is kind of dry, like right here, like a tacky kind of putty, because it gets in there good. And then your next step is you're ready to start jointing. There'll be like a rough draft and a final draft. Make sure you have a good trowel, a mixing trowel, and most importantly, jointers. So I'll show you a little section I've done after I dusted it out. I stuck in all that cement. You got to push it in as deep as it goes. Keep pushing, and you get your little rough draft. So the next day you have to let that set for the day, and you go over it with your mixing trowel to get a smooth finish. And I'll show you, I'll give a little example right now. Another tool that's good to get this dust out if it's really, really bad is to get yourself one of these heavy duty vacs. And just vacuum in between the cracks. If it's like really bad, there'll be less dust around. But it's really important that you get out all that dust, because or else the cement's not going to stick and it's going to keep falling out. Same as why the rough draft is so important. Get it all in with the jointer and these nooks and crannies, because if you do a bunch all at once, the cement's going to start falling out, especially if you have really hollow areas. So it's important to do it step by step like that, or else it might just fall apart if you don't do it right. Okay, so after you filled in with your first draft, you go over it the second time after the cement sets with your mixing trowel, right over the joints. It should get in there easy. And you go around the joint. You have a smooth finish. but you have to do every little joint here separately. So make sure you pack that stuff in, let it set. A day is good, but you could, if you're in a rush, you at least wait a few hours. Yeah, and then just go over every little joint individually until they all look like that. It'll have a neat finish. All look good and it'll be really sturdy. And it'll save you a lot of money by having to hire someone. But again, this is a different foundation. This was probably built a long time ago, and they're usually not that many stones like this. But this person was trying to save money, so they used a bunch of field stone. So this is a more trickier one. So I have to do a lot of joints. Usually you'd get stones just like huge pieces of granite like that, and it would be like way less. So you'd be able to joint them a lot easier. But some people have worse foundations, so this is a good example to come across a bad one to know what to do. Yep, you get all that in, let that set, and in a few days it will all cure, and you have yourself a new foundation. And you could either leave it like that, or you get stuck with the whole thing, or do another paint job, so whatever to your liking. So that's how to do a foundation for dummies.